Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Wolf, and welcome back to LEGO Arts. So, in the last episode, we did a showcase on The Dark Knight, and for this episode, we are continuing on with the Batman theme by doing a solo minifigure showcase in celebration of Matt Reeves' The Batman. That is scheduled to come out in just a few days. This is a figure that I finished up a while ago, but I've been so excited to showcase it to you guys because I normally don't do showcases for big releases that are coming up with stuff like with Avengers Endgame, or with Spider-Man. Most of the time when it comes to showcases like that, I tend to wait till afterwards, but this one was something that I was able to get done pretty quickly and wanted to showcase it to you guys because it just looks really fantastic, and it is probably one of my favorites, if not the favorite Batman minifigure that I have made, and I'll explain why as we continue on. So, as you guys know the whole drill, we're going to take this minifigure, do a review it, explain my process, why we went this route, and then go from there. Also, so for future updates, I've got a brand new mic, that I'm going to be using to recording showcases. So this way, you can hear me more clearly than it has in the previous videos. And it only took me like 100 plus episodes to get one. But enough about that, let's get the pedestal out and get the showcase on the road. Getting a better view of the full minifigure, we can see the entirety of the figure is mostly like 3D elements in the element. Like, this is really fantastic. I really love how this came out. Majority of the armor was done by Nate's minifigs, like the Mad Genius. And I don't know how he does it, but he did a phenomenal job of perfectly capturing Batman's armor in Lego format, and this is just overall phenomenal. The only pieces that I added really to this added to the figure were some of the leg elements, and then with the back armor, which I'll show in a bit. So for the base figure, I used one of the extra Batman minifigures that I did a review video for with the Batcave and the Batmobile. I used that as the base template, and the rest of it I just built around it. So when first looking at with this figure, first up to take a look at the cowl. The cowl itself, I feel like, is one of the best Battison cowls ever created, because it's a two-piece cowl. And this was actually something that I was trying to aim for when doing some modifications to the Minifig Madness and this minifigure that I reviewed like last year, and I still love that figure. It was really cool. But this cowl, I feel like, is really like the pinnacle Battison cowl, because it's a two-piece, as you can see, for where like on the top part is like the cowl, and then for the neck piece is this super thin piece of the cowl that captures on with the rest of the figure. But I love how seamless it like really fits onto the figure. Like, it doesn't look too overbig, too clunky and everything. It looks really cool. And if I can remove the head, there we go. So for the head underneath, I used the Minifig Madness head from the figure before. I felt like that this one really captured for the face for wearing the cowl, because I did a test run on some of the other heads. Like, none of like the other heads that I use works. Like the official Lego heads that they use for Rob Pattinson, neither of those worked. The eyes were too lower down for the cowl to fit on. The other Batman head from like the previous head for the Minifig Madness Battison figure, that one, again, same thing with the eyes. They were too narrowed in together, so the cowl like really made it look inaccurate. But this head was perfectly designed for Batman cowls, and it just looks so good. Also, as you can see, like some of the paints got chipped off here. That was primarily because I spray painted the cowl inside, which I don't know why I did that. That was a stupid thing to do, and it caused the paint to be chipped off. But since the cowl does cover it up, it's not too big of a deal. So I'll give it a pass on that. Now, looking at with the rest of the armor, the base paint that I used was sort of like my own like bluish gray primer. I just really like the coloration of it, and also with like the filter in the movie, I felt like it would fit in pretty good. So if we go ahead and remove the entirety of the head, and the K piece was also the same one from Minifig Madness. And from the Minifig Madness figure, we can go ahead and remove that so we can get a better look at the rest of the suit. With the rest of the figure, yeah, there we go. So with the rest of the figure, as I said, like, this is all like done by Nate's minifigs. I made sure to sand up a majority of the sides of the arms, so that way we could get some articulation here in the arms, Her arms looks really, really cool. I just glued on the rest of like the shoulder pad pieces for like these pieces, and same thing with the gauntlets. I just did a base silver on here for, I guess, like the little spikes, and like the braces. It's just here and there. That would have been much easier than attempting to try and individually paint them, and then that would have given me a major headache. The bat symbol, I did a little chipping here and there, to try and like go the outlines of the rest of the armor, which I think came out pretty alright. I actually kept in like some of the like chips and bruises here and there to sort of like give the idea that it's a battle damage piece. So I really like that. On the back here, as I said before, this was done by my own making. As you can see, like, same thing that I did for the Dark Knight Trilogy Batman. I sculpted out the whole back side, which I based it off of the official Lego, figure. I still don't know to this day if this is the actual design, and we'll probably not realize that until the movie comes out and we get like actual like merch and figurines of it. So I tried, and so I just used that as the base idea to like try and sculpt out the backside of it. You can tell I'm not super proud of it. Especially like, I guess, the spine piece here and there, but I did manage to shrink it down enough to where it's not super bulky. It can actually fit onto the back relatively well. This is still practice. That hopefully I'll be able to do better in the future. And now looking at the legs, like we can see some detailing like on the sides of the legs, and like on the front. If we actually rotate up, you can get a better look at them. I based it off of the legs, like same thing with like Lego's design, but I wanted to add a little bit more to it. This leg strap here was done by Nate, and done by Nate's Minifix, which I still found really, really cool. But I still wanted to add a little bit more to it, so I took some cardstock, cut up some pieces, and carefully apply them onto the figure all the way around the legs, and also the front of the legs, and all the way down here onto the back even, to make sure like all of it would like stick in place and everything, and it came out really, really cool. I really like it. My biggest takeaway with it is probably the waist piece, especially on the right leg. You can see on the waist piece, I nearly destroyed this. And the reason being was I wanted full articulation with it. Like you could see of how I can move the legs and to make sure that like the 3D elements don't get chipped off. Unfortunately though, I can't do full articulation with the right leg, which is sort of like the primary goal that I wanted to do. I think the only way that I would have been able to pull it off would be something that I did with like the Snyder Cut Cyborg, and basically be like drilling in the legs as well. But I didn't want to risk damaging like the belt piece, because I also did a little sanding on that, and that's mostly to make sure that it would fit on the leg, but I wanted to be careful to not damage the leg completely, as well as the cardstock, because that would have been, it overall would have been like a huge nightmare to try and put together and try to fix it if I wound up screwing it up. So it was sort of like a risk and take of it. I will say though, I'm pretty sure the only thing that's keeping the waist together is the armor, is the torso armor, because I pretty much attacked that side piece so much to the point that I think if I drilled in any deeper, it would have just been destroyed. So this torso is the only thing keeping the thing together. But aside from that one flaw that I wanted for it, but I could not achieve, I really like this whole figure. This entire figure was really, really amazing. It's not quite as like complicatedly detailed as like some of the other stuff that I've done. Like Bendy is still holds up to the place to like the craziest customs that I've made, but I really love this one. This is my favorite Batman custom because it's so well done. I love the detailing that I put into it, and with the 3D elements onto it, and overall, this just really, it looks really, really fantastic, and I had a lot of fun making this. Okay, that's gonna be it for this episode of LEGO Arts. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're wondering why I didn't do any other characters like Riddler or Catwoman, or Penguin, it was mostly because that since the characters had already been done in LEGO format, I felt like that those ones were pretty good enough that I didn't need to make any customs. And also, I just wanted to do Batman himself, because I really, really like the armor piece. And again, with Nate's designs, they were just so fantastic that I really wanted to do a custom figure on that. not. But I did see that Nate plans to release some Riddler and Catwoman masks by next Tuesday. So I'm hoping to get like a couple of those pieces, and I'll probably I may not do a video on that, and if I do, I'll probably just do like I might just do a full video for like just random figures together with some modifications here and there. But those would just be like added accessories that I would just put in my free time. But aside from that, this is still really fantastic. I really love how I love how this figure came out. And it came out all the way from like the armor pieces, the detailing and everything. It was just overall really fun to make. So the next showcase is probably going to be Spider-Man No Way Home Part 1. I'm still, as with the other figures, I'm still waiting on like some ideas of how to figure out with like Electro and the Lizard, So those ones are still in the work. God of War Ragnarok, as I keep saying, is still on hold. I might do a video to at least cover over a couple of stuff like here and there. Not a full showcase, but at least show you the progress that has been done thus far. And overall, yeah, we're just gonna keep going on as it is. For Let's Plays. If you guys haven't seen, I'm currently doing the Ancient Gods and the Gods DLC from Doom Eternal, and also doing God of War 3 Remastered, and those are really fun to play. So I can't wait to continue on with those series. And overall, that is gonna be it. So, if you guys would like to see more videos like this in the future, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications. It really helps us work on Let's Plays, like products, and we have some fun. So overall, thank you all so much for watching this video, and see you guys next time in the next video. Bye bye.